Prusiks. Prusiks are very versatile, can save you money when you're starting out, and can save you or your life in some situations. So often climbers will buy mechanical ascenders to use in the place of Prusiks after a while. These are very useful, however, they're certainly more costly and are not always necessary. The Pulley is great for using with a rappel as an added safety backup. So let's say we're going with our simple Munter hitch rappel. Okay, so we've got our Munter hitch, and now we want to back up. So that's up the cliff. If we were to let go here, we bump something on the way down, we let go, we would just fall down the cliff until we caught this rope again. Okay, so we've got our Munter hitch. Now we want a Pulley backup. So we would take, and to tie this, we are using, first of all, this is a 7mm rated cordage. So this cordage is rated to 3,000 pounds roughly, and you want something that is about 2 to 3 millimeters smaller than the rope that you're tying to. So this is a 7/16 rope, or 10.5 millimeter. This is a 7mm cordage, so this is actually slightly smaller than that, which just means it's going to grab a little harder. So to tie this, we are going to take and put it underneath, and we're going to take the end with a knot, and this knot is off to one side. We're going to put it through the loop and around once and twice and a third time, and then we pull it up through. Okay, and then this right now slips pretty easily. Okay, we want to tighten this so that it grabs the rope and doesn't just slip like that. So a lot of people I see just pulling on this like that, and then they're done. It still slips pretty easily. So what you want to do is take one side at a time. And I should point out here too that this rope that comes over should go all the way to the outside, and the strands that go to what you're tying onto should be right in the middle, with it all laying flat like this. So if you've got something that, you know, looks like this, you want to straighten it all out, push that to the outside, so it's looking like that. All right, so you're going to take one side at a time. You're going to take this strand, I'm going to roll this side around the rope and pull as I'm doing it. Okay, nice and tight. Take the other side, roll, 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 roll into the center, nice and tight. You can feel it. Now this will not slip either direction, but I can pull it with my hand. And you can feel the friction, feel the grab when you do that. When you put a carabiner on the top, you don't want your carabiner to touch this knot, because if it did, it might pull it and put additional stress right in here. So make sure the knot is off to the side. So that's why I say start with it to the side as you're tying, as opposed to wrapping with the knot on the top of the loop. Okay, so just like that is what it needs to look like. Okay, so another thing with these Prussik loops here, you want to make sure that these knots, this is a double Fisherman's knot, and when you tie this, you tie it nice, and then you pull it with pulleys to put a tension in here and make it so that you can't untie this thing. I mean, this is very, very solid, and so you could not untie it. So you just pull it. You don't want this thing kind of working its way undone as you're climbing or as it's bouncing around on your harness. So I tied this below, okay, just for this demonstration. Now, I see a lot of people do this, and it certainly can work. It really depends if you put it on the bottom or the top, depending on how long your Prussik is, how far away this device is from your body, which hands you're trying to use. It's kind of the whole configuration. However, if you're not sure, I would not put it below. And here's why. Because if you fall and this now pushes your Prussik, which it may bind up in here, but if it pushes your Prussik, like if you are using a different device versus this munter, then it might just go down with you, okay? So the safest bet, again, starting out, if you're unsure, the safest bet is to take and tie this Prussik over top of your munter hitch. So again, 1, 2, 3 wraps with the knot to the side, okay? These loops to the outside, roll it in, roll it in, nice and tight. Now, this would go to your, both these would go to your harness, and you would pull this down with you. So one hand on the rope, one hand on the actual Prussik. Again, wear gloves, and that's going to go down with you. If you fall, it's just going to stop right there. Okay, so this is a great backup for you, a great safety when you are rappelling. You can, if you trust your partner, you can do a fireman's belay as well if you didn't use this or didn't have it. So if someone's at the bottom of the slope and they pull down on this rope, you're going to stop as well. Just an added tip. But I would start out using this setup. Okay, so the other thing, let's say you fall on this. Now, you can't pull yourself up with a munter hitch, and you can't let yourself down anymore because you're hanging on this Prussik. So you have to be able to get off, you have to get your weight off this Prussik in order to kind of reset and start down again. So to do that, we're going to carry a second Prussik. So the second Prussik, if you fell, you would take and wrap that on the bottom and tie it on the bottom, okay? We'll pretend this is tied down here, and then you had to have a foot loop to stand in and stand up and undo this Prussik or untighten it. It's called breaking it, which you're essentially just going to take this little loop here and push that way. It's going to be much tighter once it's weighted, and then slide it back down to where you need it to be, and you're good to go starting out again. Okay, so you can also climb a rope using Prusiks. Oops. So you have your Prussik there. You have your Prussik, your longer one generally, at the bottom. Okay, there we go. There, that's how I see them tied a lot, okay? So, again, you're going to take this loop here, move this to the outside, straighten it out so that all these are nice and pretty lined up, okay? And then roll it to the center on both sides. And don't be afraid of doing it too much. It's not going to harm anything. You are going to use a locking one. You clip in here, okay, so the carabiner doesn't touch. Now, you're going to be able to step in this Prussik. Okay, again, this is up. You're going to step in this one. As you stand up, you're going to push this up. Then you're going to sit down in your harness with this one. Reach down, bring your foot Prussik up, step in it, stand up, push that up, sit down, bring your foot Prussik up, and keep moving up the rope like so. Okay. Another thing we can use a Prussik for is a progress capture with a pulley. So whether you're using this for rescue or you are pulling something out of the ditch and you want to keep your rope from slipping back down in case you let go, this is a good thing to use. So you have your pulley on here. So this is your anchor. You've got your load down there. Okay, and you're going to take this Prussik, tie it in there as well. So you're going to pull, pull, pull. You might use a pulley system, you might use people, whatever, and you're going to pull this load, okay? And it's going to be pulling up, and then if you were to let go, this Prussik would catch, okay? So generally what we're going to do is we're going to pull this load up, whatever means we're using, and then before we let go or walk away or reset, we're going to push this Prussik down, and then it catches when we let go. And again, if you have questions about Prusiks, you can throw it in the comments, and I will try to answer those questions on the comments or in a future video. Thank you.